Hello and welcome to Odyssey Motorsport TV's coverage of the Motor City Racing League Sunday Night Multiclass Series. I'm TJ Yankee, and with me in the broadcast booth, as always, is Lesean Young-Dilworth. How are we doing tonight, Els?
I'm doing good, TJ. How are we doing? I'm so excited for this new season of Motor City Racing.
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic, Els. Super stoked to be broadcasting this league as a Motor City resident myself. Tonight's race is round one of season 6 of the Motor City Racing League's first multi-split season of their IMSA-style multi-class Sunday Night League. Yes, we are broadcasting split 2 of this league, a good indication that the league runners know how to run a quality league. Having enough drivers for 2 splits in a multi-class series, that's tough to manage. So Motor City Racing League season 6 is sponsored by Drive Trainer Motorsports. Check out Drive Trainer Motorsports Sim Racing Team. As a team, they do leagues together, including this one, special events, community sessions, and just generally have a great time. Join their Discord by scanning the QR code or clicking the link in the description below. If you're interested in going from the sim to the real thing, DTM has you covered. They have coaching available and drive multiple cars in the Champ Car Endurance Series and also in SCCA. They are based out of Central Florida, so if any of those things are interest you, check them out to get involved. Here's a quick breakdown of the classes that we're going to have tonight. So this is an IMSA style split. So we're going to have 4 classes all racing at the same time. So the GTP class is going to be your top class tonight, made up of the highly specialized prototype cars from IMSA and the World Endurance Championship. They are made up of the Ferrari 499P, the Acura ARX 06 GTP, the Porsche 963 GTP, the Cadillac V-Series GTP, and the BMW Hybrid. They will be denoted under the yellow class color designation. So the second quickest class is going to be the LMP2, so Le Mans Prototype 2, which is a spec series car, definitely quicker than the GT3, but much slower than the GTP. They will be noted under the blue class color designation. And then our last class, which is actually split up into 2 classes, is going to be the GT3 or GTD class. It's going to be split into Pro and Am based on the I rating. So this is going to be the lion's share of the field today. Even though they are dedicated race cars, they look like the production models they are based off of. So these include all 10 of the cars you see below and have different driving characteristics. So we may see one manufacturer dominate one week and then struggle the next depending on the circuit. These 2 classes will be separated, with a Pro being the red color and the regular GTD with the green color designation. Els, you raced this series last season. What was it like as a driver in MCR?
TJ, this league is pretty awesome because we got the whole entire field. We got GTDs, GTD Pros, LMP2s, and GTPs, and every one of them are different cars, and they're going to be racing against each other, but not against each other at the same time. Motor City Racing has put the IMSA season pretty well together. We're starting here at Nürburgring GP, and it's going to be fun because last season it was pretty clean. The guys were respectful. Even the GTPs, usually we curse about the GTPs and the officials, but not tonight. These guys are going to be on point. I would believe so.
All right. Well, for those of you new to multi-class racing, what you're going to see tonight is essentially 4 races happening at the same on the same track at the same time. That's right. The faster classes of cars will have to pass the slower classes throughout their race and try to do it strategically so as to not lose time or track position to whomever they're racing in their own class. For the slower class cars, it's important to note that multi-class etiquette does not mean that they should just jump out of the way of the faster classes. Exactly the opposite, actually. They should maintain a predictable racing line and make it so that the faster classes are the ones doing the passing. That being said, it makes this IMSA style series an absolute blast to watch, as these drivers have to play chess throughout the classes, sometimes at around 200 miles per hour. What are your feelings on multi-class racing, Els?
TJ, multi-class racing is a chess game because not only do you have these fast cars coming in messing up your turn in and turn out, you're going to have battles going on top of battles, fuel strategies on top of fuel strategies. It's going to be chaos and at the same time organized chess. So it's going to be real cool, TJ. We're going to be seeing some awesome racing tonight.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. Tonight we are over in Central Europe at the famed Nürburgring Grand Prix Circuit. This 3.21 mile Formula One spec track has 16 corners and sits right beside the Green Hell, the Nordschleife. It was built in 1980 alongside the Nordschleife to host F1 and endurance races as a much safer venue than the big old Green Hell. The circuit's beginning and final sectors have some really tight and technical corners that are going to be challenging for these drivers. Add in the multiclass overtaking everywhere, and you have the ingredients for a wild run around the ring. Els, you running laps around the Grand Prix circuit here?
I did a couple laps myself. I mean, Nürburgring GP is a fun track, very flowy. You got high speed corners, low speed corners. You got hairpins. You got chicanes. Very, very fun track, and a whole bunch of opportunities to pass all over the track, and a decent amount of straightaways. You got about 3 medium-sized straightaways where the GTPs and prototypes should be able to get past no problem.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump. We're going to take you through a guided onboard lap of the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit in the Odyssey Motorsports Mustang GT3. Here we go, coming out of the final corner onto the start-finish straight. The first corner, as you can see on the track map to the right of your screen, it's going to be a tight hairpin. So this is going to be tough for multiple reasons, especially in that beginning when the tires are cold, the brakes are cold. Hard on the brakes all the way down to first gear. Throw it in to the right. And you still got more technical stuff going on here. You're going to get up to second gear, then dab on the brakes, turn hard left. Watch out for the off tracks on the far right side, which can hit you at any time. Then you're back down into first gear again for another tight left-hander, and then a tight right-hander immediately after that. Again, watch out for the off tracks on the left-hand side. Els, why don't you take it from here?
Oh yeah, the off tracks over there are pretty bad. We're gonna get into the fifth corner here, and it's a nice left-hander. You're kind of gonna coast a little bit, and then into this right-hander here, which is turn 5, I believe. Excuse me, and going a little bit wide there. We're gonna take this straight here into this hairpin, which is the Dunlop curve. Excuse me, it's turn 8. Kind of messing it up here. First time looking at the track map. Not gonna lie to you here. And then into the Schumacher S's here, which is basically flat out in these cars. You're gonna go to the left and then onto the right. And then I believe it's at the 100 board. You're gonna break in a straight line for the left hand right here. Why don't you take it over, TJ?
All right, yeah, once again, watch out for your off tracks. This is going to be a final relatively slow speed corner before a long run up into the final chicane. So we're going to see a lot of drafting opportunities going through this section here. A slight right, this is going to be flat out. Then you're going to dive on the brakes just before the 50-meter board, and then you're going to have this final chicane right here, a left and a right. And then now we are back on to the final corner. A right-hander, watch out for that pit entry wall there. And now we are back on the start-finish straight. I put in a 156.19. So that is going to be about mid-pack in our GTD class. So let's go ahead and talk about tonight's onboard sponsor. So tonight's onboard lap is brought to you by Motor City Racing. Don't have iRacing, or are you not interested in racing in multi-class IMSA style league like this one? Motor City Racing has you covered on multiple platforms and other free series on iRacing. They have alternate seasons of the IMSA class on Wednesday nights for free. Lobbies open at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, Wednesday night is a late night series alternating between the MX-5s, the GR86s, and the GT4s. Lobbies open at 10 p.m. Eastern time. They also host GT3s on ACC Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Also, they host 3 different Formula One series on the official Formula One game, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Check out the Discord link, which is in the video description below, or scan the QR code on the screen to find out more details about that. So Motor City Racing, it's a really great group of people, very family-like. And with that said, we'd like to MCR and Ames would like to send their love and support to Stu and his family. A recent cancer diagnosis is always tough to hear, but just know that MCR and Ames are hoping for the best for you. You can donate to the Macmillan Cancer Support by scanning the QR code on the screen, as they help those diagnosed with terminal cancer. Be sure to check that out, and we wish you the very best as well from Odyssey Motorsports TV. It's just so awesome that something like sim racing can really bring people together, it being a unique hobby. And easily watched from around the globe from the comfort of pretty much anywhere with an internet connection. With that said, we'd like to mention a friendly event reminder. We are less than 2 weeks away from the Odyssey Motorsports TV charity race on March 14th for the Wounded Warrior Project on iRacing. Check out the link in the video description below, or scan this QR code to take you to a video describing the event and how to register. It's going to be the GR86s at Virginia International Raceway in a 30-minute damage-free sprint. There's going to be prizes for the podium finishers, a livery contest, and a whole lot of fun. So check that out to be a part of a fun race for a great cause. Oh, man, that's a lot of stuff going on. Jumping back to the feed here, let's go ahead and look at what's going on with the qualifying order, as the qualifying has just ended. The results haven't popped up yet. Els, what do you think is going to happen going into turn one for these GTPs and LMP2s? For those of you that might not know, they do not have ABS, so the cars are going to be heavy, the tires are going to be cold, brakes are going to be cold. That turn one hairpin is going to be treacherous. Els, do you think we're going to see a clean turn one, or is it going to be chaos?
Well, TJ, you're kind of saying it a little bit. It might be a little bit of a mess in the turn one, so we might want to expect that a little bit. But we're going to see here these MCR guys to put together a league that's probably with good intentions and good guys putting together a good race. So we're going to probably see everybody take their time and be very well behaved in the turn one, as I saw in last season with MCR when I was competing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, like you said, you were in MCR last season. I was able to watch quite a few of the races on the broadcast. It was awesome racing to watch these guys really go at it. We're in split 2. Split 1 is happening over on Green Flag Racing, or Green Flag TV. So it was a ton of fun to watch. I'm excited to be part of the broadcast for it. Mostly it was very clean racing. Obviously incidents do happen, but looking forward to some great side-by-side action at the Nürburgring, as we're just waiting for that final qualifying session to tick over. Because I don't see anyone on track right now.
One thing about MCR, they do a entire qualifying session as if it's real life. We have each one of the classes actually taking times in a 45-minute session. So you'll have the GTD Pro go, or the GTDs go first, the GTD Pros, then the LMP2s, and then the GTPs. So everybody takes their time. So the entire session for the qualifying will probably have to go all the way down.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say that's a really, really cool, unique, for iRacing at least, unique qualifying session. A lot of leagues and races are just solo qualifying, so it's just one car out there by itself. But MCR, for their IMSA series, it's a 45-minute session, and then each of them just they get their own portion of it, but just really cool. I really like it a lot. I think it's pretty cool. Right now we're looking at a best time. Oh, there goes the switch over. So we're gonna bring up the grid and read off what's going on here tonight. So we got a ton of drivers, 45 drivers on the grid tonight, a packed house here at the Nürburgring. Starting off on pole for the GTP class is going to be Om Parajapati. Second place is going to be Puddles the Duck. That's a very unique name. Third place, Matthew Elmore. Fourth place, John Semfilippo. Fifth place, Michael Iracy. Sixth place, Misada Milla. Seventh place, Bowie Suin. And eighth place, Corey Sertoff. Starting off in the LMP2s, pole position for the LMP2s is going to be Trent Ballock. Second place is going to be Koo Donahue. Let's go to the next here. Moving down to third place in LMP2s, Bevan McCombs. Fourth place is Stu Higgins. Fifth place is Christopher Santiago. Sixth place, Steven Uzak. Seventh place, Nina Gillum. Eighth place, Jake Young. Ninth place, Gavin McKenzie. 10th place, Tom Smith. 11th place, Lucas Kriegler. 12th place, Stuart Jones. And 13th place, Carrington Kazoo. Now moving on to the GTD class, the GTD Pro class. First place in the GTD Pro class, Chris Farish with 153.685. Second place, Drew Leinhardt. Third place, John Milton. Fourth place, Christian Wills. Fifth place is Kevin McLaughlin. Sixth place, Jeremiah Miller. Seventh place, Johnny Colton. Eighth place, Logan Manor. Ninth place, Arthur Ramirez. 10th place, Richard Howard. 11th place, Daniel Mulroy. And then moving on to the GTD class is going to be, first place is going to be Matthew Zacha with a 155.269. Second place, Jose Zayas Droz. Third, Caden Webb. Fourth, Max Berksdorf. Fifth, Donovan Edwards. Sixth, Dustin Luceds. Seventh place, Sam Kesey. Eighth place, Ryan Hillier. Ninth place, John Espada. 10th place, Marcus Taylor. 11th place, Jackson Oldby. 12th place, Nicholas Sazek. And 13th place is Jackson Fonstock. Wow, that was a lot of drivers. I'm looking forward to this as we have our parade lap is underway here.
Tell you what, TJ, you're good. Good with the names, man. Good with the words, man. And the voice. Shout out TJ Yankee, my co-host. Very good with this. And we're here on the pace lap here, looking like about to start off.
Absolutely. Oh, goodness. We got multiple spins going on in the first lap. That's Matthew Elmore that crashed out as the GTPs go around. We're going to jump to the LMP2s here as they are getting ready to come around the final corner. See if they get a clean start. Oh, no, they do not.
Not quite.
Mr. Miller crashes on the back there coming out of the final corner. We got another spin. Michael Aresi, he jumps to the pit. Jump into the GTDs here as they go into turn one. Oh, goodness. We got a lot of slipping and sliding here. We're going to have to go back and look at some of these. That final corner caught quite a few people out as Drew Leinhardt leads the GTDs around into turn two.
These guys are very antsy on this first corner here, getting ready for the season. They got the energy up, but we got a decent start here in the GTDs. We got two cars side by side. The Porsches on the outside, Mustang on the inside. Mustang's going to take it right away.
Absolutely. Jumping back up to the prototypes real quick. OM Parajapati leading the field so far. Puddles the Duck right behind him. Getting a little bit off track there, but spreading out just fine as he has John Sanfilippo right behind him. Going into that final chicane. Now they should be coming up to the final corner here. To complete the first lap, we got multiple cars that are in the pits. Once these guys spread out a little bit, we'll go back and look at that. I would say it was turn one, but it was actually the final turn chaos that happened as everything went green. Jumping back to the LMP2s, Donahue leading the LMP2s, finishing his first lap. And he's got a group right behind him that are relatively close together as he starts to pull a little bit of a gap there, almost 2 seconds to second place. As everyone starts to settle in, we're going to jump back to the GTD Pros as Drew Leinhardt is walking away in first place, but Chris Farnworth under attack from Kevin McLaughlin. Into turn one. Goes defensive on the inside. Kevin McLaughlin. Oh, no. And then he spins. He overcooks it. Kevin McLaughlin is going to take that. Yeah, overcooked it. That is a really tight corner, and especially in the Mustang, as I know that's what I did the lap with. That car, you got to be real gentle on the throttle there. Unfortunate for him to lose that second place to Kevin McLaughlin, and hopefully he gets back around the right way and gets back at it. Right now, Caden Webb in a Mustang leading the GTD class. As we were just looking at the GTD Pros. Directly behind him is Joey Zazas Dros. So he is hot on his heels. So much going on for these guys to start. It's got that bright orange Mustang. And as we said earlier, The LMP2s and the GTPs are going to be weaving through this GT3 GTD traffic here. And that's going to add another kind of monkey wrench in the works for these guys in their race. So see what happens with that.
I tell you what, TJ, I'm pretty impressed at the start so far. We were expecting a lot more fireworks, and I mean there was a little bit, but looking pretty good so far. The guys here are putting on a decent show.
Yep, and
to watch tonight.
Before the GTPs come up, they're getting ready to come up to the back. We're going to take a look at Stu Higgins, his crash on the opening lap. We're going to take a look at that real fast. Actually, I think there was just a bump. Let's move to the turn one. Looks like there are a bunch of people were just bumping each other during the startup here. It's all during the startup. Holy cow. Let's see this. Stuart Jones. All right, we're just going to go back to live. I was looking through the crash log here, and it was just a bunch of people bumping into each other. As we see OM Prajapati, 3.5 seconds, almost 4 seconds from Puddles the Duck, John Sanafilippo, and Bowie Suin, Corey Sertoff, your top 5 for the GTPs. Top 5 for the LMP2s is going to be Q Donahue, Trent Ballock, Bevan McCombs, Christopher Santiago, and Steven Uzak. GTD Pros, you got Drew Leinhart, Kevin McLaughlin, Jeremiah Miller, John Milton, Johnny Coulter. That's your top 5. And GTD, you got Caden Webb, Joy Zaza Strohs, Dustin Lassos, and Donovan Edwards, and John Espeta. That's your top 5 for all 4 classes. We got a ton going on here. Let's jump to somebody that has a really tight gap. We're going to jump to Joey Sertoff as he is trying to take a pass. Got Bowie Suin ahead of him. Still side by side through that beginning section there. Now they spread out. Bowie Suin holding on to 4th place right now, but he is under attack from Corey Sertoff, who we're driving with right now. Everyone else seems to be quite spaced out as far as your top 5s. I'm going to jump back down to our GTD class as I see we're pretty close 1st and 2nd place here. Jose Droz on the back of Caden Webb. This is the fight for 1st. Bring that up so we have a nice battle for 1st in class between Jose Droz and Caden Webb. Less than a half second gap, and they're coming up to some GTD pros towards the back of the GTD Pro field. So I think we're going to start seeing the GTPs catching up to the back of the GTD class. So that's, like I said, that's when the fireworks I think are gonna then also happen. Els, as you see the GTP right there, looking to get around.
He's taking his time, being patient, pretty respectful, not trying to get too rowdy too early.
Yeah, and at least in my experience, there's been a number of that's Matthew Elmore behind him there. Certain tracks seem to lend themselves to multi-class racing better than others. Did you guys do the Nürburgring last year in this series?
I don't believe we did. I don't think we did. We did all American tracks last season.
Oh, gosh.
However,
it takes a lot of curb there. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I saw that. That was pretty frisky stuff going through the kink like that. However, GTD should be staying on their line. It seems like the GTP was forcing them off the line, but we'll see these guys get a little bit more in tune with the IMSA style racing here as the season progresses.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a skill to have, just especially as in the lower classes. There are certain things, if you're coming up to a corner and a faster class is coming up behind you, And if it's on a long straight, if you just ease off the throttle for a second to make it easier for them to overtake you before that corner, it's a way to have that pass taken care of well without affecting your time very much. So it's kind of an art to do that, especially in iRacing. I could only imagine how it is in real life. But yeah, like I said, certain tracks as well, they kind of lend themselves to be better to have multi-class racing. And Johnny Coulthard, he's got that nice kitten in the racing gear and his picture there. It's pretty awesome. He's currently sitting 6th in the GTD Pro class. We're going to jump up to Corey Sertoff, who's been on the back of Bowie Suin for a while. This is the battle for 4th. So they overtake a GTD nice and cleanly.
Now, I haven't driven the GTPs much.
Yeah.
A little bit wide there into the dirt. But I know they're very, very difficult to drive. What's your experience, TJ?
My experience is that they're incredibly difficult to drive. I actually have a race coming up in about 3 weeks that I need to practice with the GTP. Just a fire hose of information coming at you all at once. The corners come up so quickly. Downshifting, as we see someone going off behind, that's Dustin Leseau. He goes wide into that final corner. Not sure if something happened there. We're going to see what happens going into turn 1, and then we'll jump back as he is taking a look on the inside. I don't think that's for class. It's Chris Farish in the GTD Pro, overtaking Dustin Leseau, who's in 3rd in the GTD class. So again, 4 races happening at the same time between the GTDs and the GTD Pros. It's the same car, but the classes are separated by iRating. So Chris Farish looking to make another pass on the GTD in front of him, which is...
And TJ, one way you can tell...
Oh, the mirrors. Yep. That's a good call. I forgot to point that out. So if you look at these two cars, the Mustang and the McLaren that are leading this pack here, you'll see their wing plates and the mirrors are red. Oh, is the prototypes trying to get through? The GTDs, they're going to be... That's our overall leader there. The GTDs will have green mirrors and green wing end plates. So that's one way. Oh, goodness. Is that was Dustin Leseau. He spun again. No, that was Jose Dross. Sorry. A lot of names going on there. Oh, my goodness. And that's another thing you can do there. You see the lights flashing from our overall leader. That's one of the ways you can make your intentions known. Hey, I'm going to pass here. Flash the lights, and people tend to know, okay, I don't want to turn in too soon or whatever, to allow that pass to happen.
Yeah, you got to be very strategic with the faster cars coming and getting around the other cars that you're battling at the same time. You got to actually time every single move as the Mustang is going on the other Mustang and the move is done.
Yep, so this is the orange Mustang is the leader of the GTD class. Chris Farish in the black Mustang is in 7th place in the GTD Pro class. So again, it's really tough to be able to do that. Puddles the Duck trying to make his way through right behind him, as he does that during a straight, which makes it easier on everyone. We're going to jump to the LMP2s that we haven't really been watching. Our top 2 for the LMP2s, very close, less than a half a second. We see Trent Ballock in 2nd place, hunting down Q Donahue, who's been leading the race from pole position. Ooh, a little bit of slide there, but holds it together. So I really, really like the LMP2s. Els, as you see Q Donahue flashing the lights. That white LMP2 is a back marker. He's been lapped, so I don't know if he was taking a look on the inside. Trent Donahue trying to get the move done, isn't going to be able to get it there. But that's the multi-class racing. When you got to pass the back markers, like sometimes it helps you, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it hurts you. So Q able to hold on to first place, but man, Trent Bullock right on the gearbox. Els, how do you feel about the LMP2? I really actually love that car.
Oh, the LMP2 is a fun car. You can throw it around. You got a lot of downforce, decent amount of power. Not much more power than the GTD. The GTDs are just a little bit slower. I would say about 5 or 6 seconds slower than the LMPs around usually every track. And the LMPs are a lot of fun. They are streamlined and draft heavy. So definitely a lot of fun, TJ.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite cars on the service, especially for endurance racing. We're going to jump up to Bowie Suin and Chris Sertoff as they were going through traffic. Corey Sertoff was able to get by Bowie Suin for 4th place. Bowie Suin in 5th place right now with the Drivetrainer Motorsports Ferrari GTP. As Corey Sertoff ahead of him is starting to pull away with Mach 1 Motorsports in that Porsche GTP. And again, so for some of these cars, with the exception of the LMP2, obviously the LMP2 it's a spec series class. All the cars are exactly the same. Same manufacturer, same engine, everything. Your GTPs, you have different cars have different characteristics. So certain tracks might be better for one car than they are for another. And then the same with the GTDs. You got Mustangs, you got Corvettes, you got Ferraris, Porsches, BMWs. Different strengths and weaknesses, and certain tracks will lend better to others than other tracks. So we might see a lot of back and forth here. As we're going to jump back to the LMP2s real quick, as the top fight for 2nd place right now. Bevan McCombs right behind them as they make their way through traffic here. If you look at that track map on the right side, you can see how busy it is with 45 people on the circuit at one time. That is, I mean, that's how they do it in real life too. So it's a great simulation of how the guys do it out there for real. Stu Higgins, we're going to jump back to him as he is right on the rear end of Jake Young. Goes a little wide there. Let's see what he does leading up to that final chicane. There is an alternate layout here, whereas if you see on the right side of the car, it's actually a tighter chicane, which is a lot harder to do. This is the more drawn out, smoother chicane, a lot less slowing down. That one can be really tough. We watched some GTEs battle a few weeks back with that layout, and I think you remember, Els, we had a last-second pass on the last corner of the last lap for the overall win. That was super exciting. So we'll see if any of these guys are able to pull on something like that later in the session, as we are just over a quarter way through this hour session. Lap 10 for the GT or the LMP2s. Trying to find the best gaps here, and I think Stu Higgins fighting against Jake Young here, trying to get that position. Keeps sticking his nose up the inside. See if he's able to get a good enough run on to claim that position. Ooh, a little bit of a lockup there. Tiny bit. You see that puff of smoke. Both prototype classes do not have anti-locking brakes, so if you press that brake pedal too hard, you lock up and then you slide forward instead of turning as they pass a back marker with some damage. That's Jackson Oldsby, 9th place in the GTD class. No drama at all going around them. And he is really just keeping up with him. Wonder if Jake is checking his mirrors a lot.
Now, ABS. What do you feel about ABS, TJ?
Well, as not a professional racing driver, I love it. I think it's great. It really helps me out a lot. But when with the LMP2 being one of my favorite cars on the service, it's so satisfying when you get it right and you get that left foot kind of trained to brake exactly what you need to without the help of ABS. I think it's really awesome. But if we're talking about maximum performance, I would say ABS helps me out a lot. How do you feel about that?
Well, I remember, well, this is a little bit off topic from IMSA. Thinking about the service, the iRacing service itself, the Porsche Cup car is one that pops up in my head when I think about ABS, and I miss it without the ABS. It puts a different challenge, and that's what's so cool about the prototypes. They're the fastest cars, and yet they don't have ABS, so you got to be very precise on your braking.
Oh, once again, he's looks on the inside again, but isn't able to get it done.
As I was saying, you got to be very precise on your trail braking, your release of the brakes through the corner and on exit to make the most out of the car.
Yep, I mean, the real racing drivers will tell you that ABS is actually a hindrance with the exception of like an emergency situation because you can actually brake a little bit better if without the ABS. If you have a good trained braking foot. As you see, Ryan Hillier is the back marker that these LMP2s are going by, and we got a GTP, Matthew Elmore, also getting involved, cutting through the field here. Oh my goodness, here we go. Here's where that lap traffic can make something much more difficult. Now we're going to go 4 wide down the front straight. Jake Young still able to hold the position for now, but Stu's going on the inside in turn 1. What's going to happen here? Oh, a little bit of contact. Everything seems to be all right. I can say that the LMP2s are incredibly fragile cars, so don't want to do too much of that. But with that lap traffic that they're trying to get around, I had to take some interesting lines around that final corner, and all led to a turn 1 attempt up on the inside. Stu Higgins still in 6th place. Jake Young ended up falling back. These are our closest gaps on the track for the top 5s of each class so far. That's why we've been sticking with them for so long. Let's jump down to our leader in the GTD class, Caden Webb, in that orange Mustang. He's got a good almost 6.5, 7 second gap to Donovan Edwards, who's in 2nd place. There's Donovan Edwards there. You see an LMP2 coming up behind them. That's actually the leader, Q Donahue, who hasn't had to deal with all the stuff that Stu Higgins, Jake Young were at. He's a bit farther up. In our GTP class, OM Prajapati is still just walking away. He's 13 seconds ahead of Puddles the Duck here. I think this is a good opportunity to throw a shout out real quick. Shout out to Michael. Best of luck this season. To my favorite traffic cone, Love CK. Let's find Michael.
Shout out, Michael.
Oh, he is in the pits, unfortunately. I think he was involved in that final turn incident. So, traffic cone. Hope next race goes a little better for him. I just wonder, how did Puddles the Duck actually, as you can see, he's got the Ayrton Senna with a duck. Actually, kind of looks like a chicken with sunglasses, but I suppose it's a duck. Picture there for Motor City Racing. The league
creative stuff there.
Yeah, league organizer. He's holding 2nd place pretty well in the GTP class. Pretty big gaps for these GTP cars right now. So he is kind of on an island with the exception of passing that lap traffic. Jumping back to Q Donahue here, leading the LMP2s. So let's go ahead and read off the top 5 for each class. So for your GTP class, Om Parjapati, overall leader. Puddles the Duck, second place in GTP. John Sanfilippo, Filippo, third place. Corey Sertoff, fourth place. Bowie Sue in fifth place. The LMP2s, you got Q Donahue, who we're on board with. Trent Blatlock, Bevan McCombs, Christopher Santiago, and Stu Higgins, your top 5. GTD Pro, jump down to then Drew Leinhardt, leading the pack for the GTDs. GTD Pro, Kevin McLaughlin in second place, Jeremiah Miller third, John Milton in fourth, Chris Farish in fifth. And then the GTD class, Caden Webb leading the pack, Donovan Edwards in second place, Jose Droz in third place, Sam Kesey fourth place, and Dustin Lostos in fifth place. That's your top 5 for each class so far. 25 minutes into this hour session. Els, when do you think the pit window is going to hit for these cars? So these guys are going to have to pit for fuel.
I believe the fuel capacity is set to, I think it's 80 or 60%. I don't know the exact number, but usually it's the halfway mark that we're going to see the pits window open up, probably at the 30-35 minute range. But I did have some problems in last season where I would actually run out of fuel at the line. So we got to make good calculations here and pull out your phones, your calculators, your computers, your AI, your chat GPT, whatever it is, so we can figure out the fuel strategy for this race.
Absolutely. As John Espada in Millennium Motorsports in the BMW, working his way. This is the battle for 5th in class. So you got 5th, 6th, and 7th. All pretty close there. Got a whole lot of different lines going through that final corner with that prototype going through. Now they dropped a single file. We see if there's going to be any moves into turn 1. It's like Dustin's going to take a look on Christian Willis. Oh, still side by side. Now they're a pack of 2. So John Espada is going to be able to take the position over Dustin Lestos there. Great way working through. Still side by side. Is that Nicholas Sazek? Oh, really close there. Nick's going to take the position for now, but we'll see if Dustin's going to fight back. So head into the tightest hairpin of the bunch here. I believe that's turn 8. Oh, goes a little wide there. And then we got another prototype behind them, the LMP2. It's going to cause a little bit of alternate lines as he sees them fighting. Still side by side. Dustin gets the inside into that turn, but Nick fighting back.
Well, the LMP is probably antsy at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick still fighting to keep 6th position right now. Go into that final chicane here. Oh, little bit of contact, and around he goes.
Oh, so unfortunate.
Very unfortunate as we saw them. Yeah, Nick's going to go in for his fuel now as we're in the 29th minute. So just under halfway. I don't know if that'll be enough time for fuel for him to make it to the end. But we saw them fight for the whole lap all the way up to the final corner there. And that's the thing that's really hard for those of you watching, maybe your friend or family member of one of the drivers here that sent you this broadcast. It is incredibly hard to race side by side for that long. So, tip of the hat to both of them for racing for that long side by side. And all it takes is one tiny mistake, brake 2 feet later than you should have. The front end can wash out on you, and you can see what happens, unfortunately, for Nick. Hopefully going right into the pits, it won't hurt his timing that much. We're going to jump up to the Jeremiah Miller in the GTD Pro class. This is the battle for first in the class, as Kevin McLaughlin's been leading for a while now, but he's now under attack from Jeremiah Miller. You can say home field advantage for these two cars. You got a Porsche and a Mercedes at their home track here in Germany, the Nürburgring. Els up.
Both German.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, of the GTD or the GTs, what's your car choice?
That's a good question. I love the Mustang. It drives very aggressively, and it sounds aggressive. It looks aggressive. So I'm going to go with the Mustang, although I should be saying BMW, but the Mustang.
Yeah, that's actually a good thing. A good, interesting point is for the GT3s, you got 3 German manufacturers with Porsche, Mercedes, and BMW. I think there's only 2 with the American. You got the Corvette and the Mustang. I think there's technically an Audi as well, but that's I think it's going to be turning into a legacy car. But yeah, I know you'd like the BMW. I love the Mustang just because it just sounds so good. And as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, I am a resident of the Motor City, so I got to pick one of the 2 American cars. And as we see both the leaders for GTD Pro diving into the pits, we are just over the halfway mark, 31 minutes. So they are taking their fuel stops now. But yeah, going back to that Mustang, I had to pick one of the American cars. Jump over to our LMP2s. First and second, right on top of each other. The fight for first place in the LMP2 class. But yeah, the sound of that Mustang, it's just so great. I really need to practice with it more to get the most out of it, but it just sounds so amazing.
Now I'm wondering, watching these LMPs and GTDs, I know the LMPs aren't that much faster. It might as well be passing another GTD at this point. You even got to fight the traffic that you're going past.
Yeah, I mean, that's in my experience in multiclass racing when I've been driving in the LMP2, not a huge power difference between those cars. It's really the downforce and the weight. So these cars, the LMP2s, obviously in the slower speed corners, they're going to be very similar in performance to the GTDs because they have similar horsepower and, mechanical grip is what really they're relying on. But in the higher speed corners, you can really throw these cars around because the downforce is really going to help them stick to the ground and take those high speed corners at I was telling one of my friends who is trying to learn the LMP2 that you got to rely on an invisible downforce. You just kind of got to throw it into the corner and hope that it sticks, and it does.
Well, TJ, can you explain downforce a little bit for me?
Sure, Els. So the simplest way is I actually saw a Formula One driver was explaining it. If you driving on the highway and you stick your hand out the window and you point your hand down, it'll push down. If you point it up, it'll push up. So the downforce, what that's going to do is it's actually going to push the vehicle into the ground so that the car actually seems like it's laid. There's a little bit of a lockup there from Matthew Elmore going into turn 1. Excuse me. But that extra push down into the road is going to give the tires more grip, so you can go through those corners a lot faster. So that's essentially what downforce is. Oh no, Trent Bullock just okay. All right, I was gonna say no. He's in second place and he got a disconnect, but just a brief moment of blinking out there. Looks like
Had too much downforce.
had too much downforce. He went through the ground there. But that's essentially what downforce is in a nutshell. Obviously, with high downforce cars, you want to find a balance between if you have too much downforce, you have too much drag, and that'll actually slow you down in the high speed portions. But if you don't have enough, then you go through the corners and you slide. So always trying to find that balance in setup. This is an open setup series. So I just seen Steven Usak, who's right behind this group here, crash. Let's take a look real quick at what happened there. This is going into turn 1 with a GTP looking on the inside. Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Contact. Very unfortunate, Steven Usak there.
Yeah, just miscommunication between the drivers. It happens in this multi-class racing. The GTP was expecting the lane and just couldn't get it over to him to let him know that, hey, I'm passing now. So bad negotiation leads to the incident.
Absolutely. One of the things I can say, Bowie Suin is trying to get back to Corey Sertoff. Actually meant to go to Corey Sertoff there, as he is right behind Jonathan Sanfilippo. We're going to jump on board real quick. Once they get past, they're going down the start-finish line. You can see that first corner, what we just saw those two cars come together. You're going to see into the braking zone, the track dips down and away. And it's not a straight line braking here. So you see how there's a slight right turn, and then it's the right turn. So I'm wondering if the LMP2 just kept going straight and took that space. Ooh.
Oh,
Corey Sertoff.
Contact there.
A little bit of contact with that Porsche there as he's cutting through the field here. So I'm not entirely sure what happened, but Bowie Suin is caught back up to... Oh, that's what it was. So we're going through the pit windows. So Om Prajapati, he was the leader of the GTP class for a while. Right now, Puddles the Duck leading. Might be on different pit stops. So after the pit window, as we're 36.5 minutes through this hour session, you're going to see the order kind of even itself back out, as you'll see people that take a pit stop a lap or two later will be leading for a while, and then they'll go back to their position. Something to be said of taking a pit stop. If you see a bunch of traffic coming up, take a pit stop early. You might be slowed down a lot less by that. Oh, you got LMP2s, GTPs, and GTDs all in the same thing. The LMP2 goes wide, but no contact so far. So whenever I drive this track, Els, I tend to absolutely eat through my tires. It just might be my driving style. There is a lot of mechanical grip corners on this course, a lot of slow speed corners that these cars could be eating through their tires. So got to keep an eye out for that, whether or not they took... let's take a look at Corey Sertoff real quick as he is taking pits. As you see, the car is up off the ground, so he is taking tires. Which will add to his pit stop time. But like I said, I tend to have a really, really hard time keeping the tires lasting the length of an hour-long race here. As you see him drop down, and he's off and away, 5th place in the GTP class. Els, were you taking tires back in the last season in Motor City Racing? Or did you just do a fuel splash?
Well, TJ, I just threw fuel in the car because I like the tires warm. Oh, as you can see.
Yep.
That's all it takes is a little bit of cold tires.
Yep, just real quick before you answer the rest of that, a word of note to those of you watching that maybe aren't part of the iRacing sim. Oh, and he slides again. It takes 2 to 3 laps for the prototype cars to warm up their tires so that it doesn't feel like you're driving on ice skates. So, yeah, he might get more grip in a few laps, but he's going to have to tiptoe the rest of the way through this lap as he's already overheated the tires a couple times with 2 slides. So that is something that is across all 3 of these car classes, technically 4 if you want to split up the GTDs. It takes a few laps to warm up the tires. So, got to be careful when considering that during your pit strategy. But go ahead, Els. What were you saying about you would like to keep the tires nice and warm?
Well, judging by the fact that cold tires will give you 4 seconds in some cases going onto the track on the outlap compared to staying on warm tires, and the fact that it's just an hour-long race, usually I would not take tires depending on the type of track. If it's a lot of the same right-hander or a lot of the same left-hander, then one of the tires will be eaten up a little bit quicker and it'll be a problem. But in my opinion, or in my calculations, I think it'd be best to just thug it, as the youths might say.
Yeah. I mean, obviously in endurance races, a lot of special events on iRacing, you got to take tires. But I would say for an hour-long race, even here where I know I'm eating up the tires, I probably wouldn't have taken tires if I was in one of the prototypes. Like you said, it's just so hard to get them back up to temperature, especially with everyone else out there on rate pace. As we see all 3 different cars here at Porsche GTP, overall leader going through. And then your first place of Ku Donahue in the LMP2s. Sam Kesey just 6th place in the GTDs, just kind of an innocent bystander trying not to get in too much in the way. So I don't think Bowie Suin has stopped yet because I think Puddles the Duck was 2nd place in the GTPs. Bowie's 2nd place right now, but like I said, if he takes a later pit stop, he will be ahead for long. As you see the pit lane indication pop up, he is going in for his fuel stop. So I'll put Puddles the Duck back into 2nd place. John Sanfilippo will be in 3rd place, and then Corey Sertoff may or may not be in 4th place, depending on where Bowie Suin comes out. Yeah, I do have to say the GTPs, at least for me, it's such a difficult kart to drive. Add in the fact that it takes a few laps to get the tires up to temperature. It's just not something that I am willing to put as much time into. These drivers obviously putting on kind of a clinic here. I'm going to jump back to Curry Sertoff as he did come out right behind Bowie, but he's going to go ahead and take the lead as Bowie is just coming out of the pits. So Corey back into 4th position, but Bowie is now right behind him. Let's see if he can make up some time here and try to get that 4th position back. So these are the 2 closest top 5 gaps on the circuit right now as a GTD. Oh, goodness. Corey locks up going into that corner, but keeps it on track. To be fair, the only GTP that I've ever driven is Cadillac. It was one of the ones that was on the service a little earlier than some of the newer ones that have since been added. So I only have experience with one, but it is, like I said, it is an assault on the senses, that car is, but it is incredibly fast. That class of car, obviously being the top class on the service for road racing. Jump down to the GTD class real quick. Is Donovan Edwards leading so far? He's got about a 4.5-second gap over second place Jose Droz. Caden Webb, who was leading for a while, is in third. John Espada and Nicholas Sazak round out your top 5 in the GTD class. In the GTD Pro class, Jeremiah Miller has got a healthy 3.5-second gap over Kevin McLaughlin. John Milton, Drew Leinhart, and Christian Wills will round out your top 5 in the GTD Pro class as we are coming close to 15 minutes left in this race. This is round 1 of season 6 of the Motor City Racing League's split 2 of the IMSA style Sunday night league race. Absolutely incredible. Have 2 splits. The second split having 45 cars. Hats off to Motor City Racing. A clear indication that you're running a really awesome league. If you got 2 splits worth of drivers and they're both full, that's fantastic from them. So if you're in iRacing or you're watching or a friend is driving right now and you're in iRacing, check out Motor City Racing. They got the right things going on because people are flocking to it.
Absolutely, TJ. And being a former driver of the Motor City Racing League, I can contest to that. They know what they're doing. They're always on time. They're always on point with their protests and incident points and whatnot. So Motor City Racing, check them out. Whenever you're bored or whenever you want something to really work for, hop in the iRacing simulator and let's get some racing for Motor City Racing.
Yeah, and as I talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, if multi-class racing isn't your cup of tea as a driver, they have numerous other ways to get involved with iRacing as well. Assetto Corso, Competizione, and then also the official Formula One game. So Motor City Racing doing a whole bunch of awesome stuff. Clearly not their first rodeo. Real awesome stuff that they're doing there. I'm going to take a look real quick. These are, once again, we're back. Oh, goodness, as Koo goes a little wide there. I was going to take a look at something else, but we're going to stay here now as Trent Bullock in second place at LMP2 is going to take a look to go into first place here. Let's head up to that final chicane. Oh, goodness. Oh, no, around goes Koo. He was not able. He took too much of that curbing in that chicane, and Trent's going to take the lead and quite a gap now as you see Koo back at it, back pointed in the right direction there.
Yeah, too wide through that chicane is very risky. I probably would have backed out myself, but good driving otherwise.
Yeah, and no contact. It was just it took a little bit too much curbing, unsettled the car, and around it went off into that sandy gravel trap on the outside. Q's been leading the race for most of the race, so we'll see if he's, it's almost 4 seconds now. Once he got pointed in the right section, this gap up to Trent. We'll see if he'll be able to put some flyers in as we're 47 minutes into this hour race. So we are coming down to the closing stages here. All right, we're going to take a look at this real quick as Lucas Kriegler. We're going to take a look at that real fast as we had an incident. Same corner.
Oh, no.
Same corner. That is a very difficult chicane to take too wide. Oh, goodness.
Oh, no.
That is unfortunate. Not necessarily a bad rejoin by either of them. They're just slow to get back at it. And other cars coming up behind and having some contact, unfortunate. And it looks like Lucas got a black flag for that. I think that might be on incidents as we see the 19X next to his name. So he will have to serve a drive-through penalty, unfortunately for him. We're jumping back down to the GTDs. Donovan Edwards still leading with Jose Dros about 6.5 seconds behind him. Caden Webb in the Mustang in third in the GTD class. That's your overall leader going by in that red GTP, Porsche GTP. I'm going to jump over to Jake Young, who has a nice close gap. Can find him here. Here we go. Is he just... It says he's less than... Oh
no.
That was John Milton that went around there. So Jake Young trying to hunt down Christopher Santiago for 4th position in the LMP2s. That's what we jumped to, and we saw that that was 3rd place in... That was Kevin McLaughlin, or no, Drew Lightheart. I'm sure it was one of the Porsches there that had a... went around a little bit there. Jump back up to Jake Young, who's hunting down Christopher Santiago. Gap now up to almost 1.5 seconds. See if Jake can dig deep and try to get this, because we have less than 10 minutes remaining in the session. It's Jake rocking the Motor City Racing livery. So that's 2nd place in the GTD Pro class as they come up to that final chicane. Kevin decides to take evasive action there.
Smart move by him. That could have ended up very bad.
Absolutely.
As we've seen a couple times already.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it's so, can I leave enough space for him? I think it's just so difficult to leave space at that chicane because, you know, the ideal racing line is to straight line it as much as possible.
That's 100% right, TJ. And that's probably the reason why you want to back out and just let the faster car go.
We're going to jump back here to the 4th and 5th place in the GTD Pros as they're side by side going through turn 1. This is Chris Farish and Christian Wills fighting for that top place. Drew Lightheart right in front of them. So this is 3rd, 4th, and 5th, the final podium position here in front of them. Let's go back to them real quick. I thought that was going to be him there. So Chris Farish in 4th position, leading this group of cars here. It's Mustang against Aston Martin. So your overall leader once again passing through the GTD field. See if there's anyone else as these guys seem to have spaced out a little bit here. Looks like Caden Webb, 3rd place in the GTD class, trying to hunt down the Porsche of Jose Dros. There's a gap now under a 0.5 second. With these GTDs putting in minute 55 laps, I mean, it's looking like we might have maybe 3 laps remaining, depending on where they are when the leader passes, the overall leader passes the finish line. Took a look on the inside of that final chicane, but wasn't able to go through, is that LMP2 went through to kind of mess up the racing line for those two guys for the fighting. All part of the multi-class racing. Nothing wrong with it, but Caden's going to have to mount another attack to draw Jose back in.
Horse goes a little wide right there, I think.
I think so. He's got it back down to a half second, so Caden showing some pace here at the end. Well, there's a couple places that I would mount the attack, and one of them would be this hairpin that's coming up after this kind of turn here. Gonna have an LMP2 of Q Donahue. Take a look on the inside and get in between them for now. But then here we go, side by side, out of that hairpin. That was where I would have tried to make the pass. Let's see what happens. Oh, 3 wide as the GTP gets involved. Caden's going to be able to take the position. No contact from anyone there. Jose's going to be the one who loses out, unfortunately, with that traffic being where it was at. But he's already coming back for a fight. And this is second in the GTD class.
Mustang takes a little bit of dirt on the exit there.
Here we go. Oh, takes a look. This is that final chicane that everyone's been having a problem with. He backs out. Almost 4 minutes, barely, a little bit more than 4 minutes remaining in the session. So probably a smart move to back out of that move at the last second and try to take him on the next couple laps. Oh, goodness, as that LMP2 goes super wide. And Jose's going to take advantage of it here. Let's go back to the outside view. Oh, no!
Oh, that didn't look good at all.
I couldn't tell if there was contact. We were switching. We'll take a look real quick at the replay. So we were on board here as that LMP2 went wide. Now they're side by side, and oh, he gets into the back end, the back quarter panel there.
Oh, I know harsh words might be said about that.
Yep, there might be some finger wagging and finger pointing there, but we'll let the racing stewards kind of figure that out. Unfortunately, Jose is going to be the one who ends up losing out as Caden goes off into the distance there, as he did not get spun around. Still in a podium position, though. Let's see if we got any more close battles. As we're winding down, the final under 3 minutes left in the session. Boym Prajapati just absolutely walking away. 27.5 second gap to Puddles the Duck in second place. I see Bowie Suin has a meatball in 7th place in the GTP. Mr. Milla has a black flag as well, so looking through the log here, seeing if there was some incident that we missed. I'm not seeing it. It's not recently, anyway. So I can say, as someone who did, I think it was a half an hour race in a GT3 around here in the Mustang, Friday night. An hour around this track, especially with the amount of traffic that there is, no small task from these drivers. So a very tight technical circuit. You don't get that many instances to kind of relax at all. So, tip of the hat to all these drivers out here, putting on a great show for everyone and keeping it as competitive as possible, as we see multiple instances of people fighting towards the end of the session. It's awesome stuff. So I did not see if that was the white flag as he came around. As we got, we're coming up on a minute left in this session. I would imagine that this is the final lap for Owen Prajapati and everyone that is behind him. So leading from pole, Owen's going to continue on with the finishing of this lap. As long as he can keep it clean, he's got less than half a lap to go. He's going to take round one as a win from pole, which is probably, you know, the dream scenario for any driver. Seen quite a bit of action. Like I said, certain tracks seem to lend themselves better to multi-class racing than others. I would say this one is kind of in the middle. There are plenty of overtaking opportunities, but with all the low-speed corners, as Els and I discussed, the GTDs and LMP2s being very, very similar paced in those slow corners, quite challenging. But Owen's going to come around the final corner here. Give a flash of the lights, back and forth. That is first place for Owen. Puddles the Duck is in second place, as we're going to start seeing the checker flag graphics start coming up on different people as they come around and cross the start-finish line. Trent Bullock, second place or first place in the LMP2 class, is second fastest class. He's getting ready to come around. Jeremiah Miller takes the checker flag for the GTD Pro class, with Kevin McLaughlin right behind him as well. What happened there? We'll jump down to Donovan Edwards. Leading the GTD class, going through that final chicane and the last corner. He is going to take the win in the GTD class. So many cars on track. So many battles happening between classes. Absolutely fantastic racing from all these drivers. Huge congrats to all the winners. Just waiting for the last couple of people to come around, and then we can read off our results for round one. Season 6 of Split 2 of the Motor City Racing League's Sunday night IMSA. There's Jose taking second place in the GTD class. Caden Webb, third place. Just waiting on that final couple cars to come across the finish line, and we can read off our results for tonight. And that's going to be it. So let's go ahead and take a look at our results tonight. Race results. Top 5. Your overall and GTP winner, Owen Prajapati. Take it from pole. Absolutely clinic of driving skill out there from him. Puddles Duck comes second place in the GTPs. Third place, John Sanafilippo. Fourth place, Corey Sertoff. Fifth place, Matthew Elmore in the GTPs. LMP2s, Trent Bullock and Q Donahue. Bevan McCombs are your top 3. Christian Santiago, Stu Higgins, and Tom Smith, Jake Young, Carrington Kazu, Stuart Jones. We click this off of overall and go to class set 1 here. Stuart Jones rounding out your LMP2s. Your GTD Pros, Jeremiah Miller is going to take win here. Let's just make sure that is the correct. I think it's pulling up the results, so we're just going to go back to the race here. So we're going to read off your top 5 for each of the classes here. Going to the GTD Pros, you got Jeremiah Miller, Kevin McLaughlin, Drew Leinhardt, Chris Farish, and Christian Willis. GTDs, Donovan Edwards is going to take your win. Jose Droz, second place. Caden Webb, third. John Espada, fourth. And Sam Kesey is 5th. Absolute crazy race around the ring here tonight. Just taking a look to see if we have any of anyone in the waiting for an interview. Els, takeaways from the race tonight?
I see that these guys are getting into the groove of the IMSA style racing. We're gonna see good racing from now on. It was pretty clean, not too chaotic, not too crazy, nothing egregious, very respectful all the way around. So definitely a good look so far on this first night of the season.
Yeah, no, I would have to agree with you. Like you said, a couple aggressive moves here and there, but for the most part, quite respectable racing from everyone. Like I said, so difficult, 4 different classes at the same time on a tight and twisty circuit like this. Always going to be a challenge. Just really awesome. Of overall, I think the drivers did relatively well. Again, with the LMP2s and the GTPs not having any ABS on this circuit, that is a huge challenge. So hats off to them. I'm not seeing any drivers in the waiting for winner location. We'll wait a few more minutes to see if anyone pops in there. They might be talking in the Discord itself, but I'm looking forward to this season. I think as these guys get settled into, like you said, the multi-class style of racing here, I think we're gonna just see everything get better and better, more and more exciting.
Definitely, TJ. I predict that we're going to be seeing close and closer racing. These guys are going to be having incidents in and out of turns, just having to understand how to deal with the IMSA grid. So definitely going to be a learning curve to begin with. And we're going to be seeing more and more action throughout the rest of the season.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and read off, because I was only able to read off the top 5 of the GTD and GTD Pro class. We'll go ahead and read off the rest of the GTD Pro and GTD class. So Jeremiah Miller is your winner, Kevin McLaughlin in 2nd, Drew Leinhart in 3rd, Chris Farish 4th, Christian Willis 5th, John Milton in 6th, 7th place is Johnny Coulthard, 8th place Rich Howard, Daniel Mulroy in 9th, 10th place Arthur Ramez, 11th place Logan Manor. I think that is all for the GTD Pro. And then your GTD class, Donovan Edwards, 1st place, Jose Droz, 2nd place Caden Webb, 3rd place John Espada, 4th place Sam Kesey, 5th place, 6th place Nicholas Sazak, 7th place Jackson Oglesby, 8th place Ryan Hiller, 9th place Matthew Zaucha, 10th place Maxim Buxdorf, 11th place Dustin Lestos, 12th place Marcus Taylor, and 13th place is Jackin Fonstock. Once again, I'm still not seeing any drivers in waiting for a interview. So drivers, if you watch this video back, we do have an IMSA iRacing IMSA Split 2 Series winners voice chat. So make sure you jump in there if you're one of the winners. We'll bring you on the broadcast and give you an interview and ask you how your race went. So with that being said, we're a few minutes now past where I think we're going to go. Any last thoughts, Els, tonight?
Not at all, TJ. I'm actually pretty impressed with these guys tonight. They put on a good show. Like I said before, clean racing, respectful racing. That's what we want to see starting the season, and definitely throughout the season, we're going to be seeing just respectful racing, and that's what we'd like to see as sim racers.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with you. Outside of that start, that was a little messy. That final corner, catching a number of drivers out on those cold tires. It has been an absolute blast to watch these guys bomb around this circuit tonight. Hoping to see more of the same on the competitive side next week. So that's going to conclude our coverage of round 1 of season 6 of the Motor City Racing League's first multi-split season of their IMSA style multi-class league. This is split 2. Huge thanks to all the drivers who participated and to Motor City Racing for putting on this league. I am TJ Yankee.
And I'm Lesean Young-Dilworth.
And that will conclude our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned for the next broadcast on Odyssey Motorsports TV.